to Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry. Limonka chose a great time to get comfortable on my lap again. And the cable from my headphones got tangled in her feet. I have been doing some more story missions. And actually, I guess I didn't technically finish chapter 5 yet, but I have been to Guarma. I spent a bit longer there than I would have liked, trying to find all the Guarma specific animals there, like a bunch of snakes and parrots and stuff. It was not necessarily a fun time. Just a bunch of reloading the save, hoping that the ones I needed would spawn in specific places. But yeah, now that's done. I wanted to record this video as soon as I arrived on Guarma. But for story reasons, I guess my journal, or Arthur's journal, was not available. So I had to wait till I got back to the mainland. But now that we're here, as you can see, Arthur's beard is getting a bit on the, well, kind of majestic side, but I will be having a shave soon, probably. Anyway, I don't know why, but it doesn't let me get to the journal by holding down left on the D-pad, so I have to go into the satchel and then to documents. Then here I can get to the journal. I'm going to make an assumption to say that the journal entries for chapter 4 have completed since I've... Oh, this is... wait. All this stuff is from chapter 5 while I was on Guarma. So we will go to chapter 3, which is Clemens Point. And we will start here with this sketch of Dutch's tent by the water. And the first entry. More problems have befallen us. More running. Leviticus Cornwall, the oil, sugar, rail, and greed merchant, whom we robbed a while back, had us ambushed in Valentine. Seems he has added to the price on our heads. We shot our way out of town and narrowly escaped with our lives. The only amusing aspect of the horror was Herr Strauss getting crazed and acting like he was preparing for his short trip down to hell. After this, we fled the country and headed even further south and east, camping by a lake. This is pretty much new country for me. Charles and I saved a family of Germans who were in the process of getting themselves killed. He's a better man than me. He does not need to think to be good. It comes naturally to him, like right is deep within as opposed to this conflict between good and evil that rages within me. If only we had fled west out of Blackwater, we could be free now, out where we belong, beyond civilization, with the savages and the animals. Here we won't ever be at home. Sketch of the main streets in Rhodes. And the next entry. So it turns out we're holed up outside a town called Rhodes, deep in old cotton country. The place has not recovered from the war, and those folks that is sober enough to think are still angry. The drunk, which is most of them, are angrier still, but perhaps for other reasons. Adding to the absurdity, we appear to be planning to deputize ourselves into the local law enforcement, and have already taken down a major bounty on their behalf, but mostly to rescue slippery old Trelawney, who has got himself arrested for some of his usual nonsense. Seems like there is a long-running blood feud between two old families here, and both Dutch and Hosea believe they may be sitting on a lot of gold. We shall see, I guess. Rhodes Parlor House. This looks like Sadie, yeah. Sadie Adler. Mrs. Adler, the widow we rescued a while back, might be the craziest one of all of us. She fights like a cornered polecat, with a rage and a bloodlust that frightens the hell out of me. I ever get on her wrong side, and I am a dead man. I don't intend to. She's a fine woman, amusing and good-hearted and decent and angry. I took her shopping to stop her filleting old Pearson right in camp. After we got jumped, she went insane and showed she can kill with the best of us. Sketch of a dog. And I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. We'll find out, I guess. Met a fella called Miss Margaret, an animal trainer and showman or showwoman, mistress of danger. Quite a character. Wants me to find some missing animals. Ah, yes. I liked him. And I liked those side missions. Ah, right. Yeah, kind of spoilers. That's the dead lion on the left. A while ago, I met an odd man dressed as a lady animal trainer. Are all Englishmen that weird, I wonder? All his animals were as fake as the rest of his act. Until I was to find and retrieve a real lion from somewhere or other in Africa. I thought was going to be another dog. But no, it was a real lion. Thing looked like it wanted me for its next meal. So yeah, that was at Emerald Ranch, the lion. After hunting a zebra that was a donkey and a tiger, that was a cougar and another lion that was just a dog. Or I think that's right. I think I've lost track of the whole thing, and an assistant that's a real woman, and him, a strange English maniac in a dress pretending to be all that he isn't. Remind yourself never to go on the stage. Weird syntax. That's the caravan of the man-woman. The weird English guy gave me a pretty decent emerald as payment for my troubles. Maybe he wasn't so bad after all. A fox and I want to say a monka. Limonka is making noise on the desk next to me. That emerald was about as real as the zebra, and worth a whole lot less. Seems Miss Margaret made idiots out of all of us. What did I expect? A man who dealt in fake tigers gave out real gems. I think Limonka's trying to entertain herself because she wants to go out but she can't because it's raining pretty badly. And I don't want to let her out and then have to let her in 5 minutes later while I'm still recording. Anyway, some kind of frog or toad, a heron, I think. Here's that empty town I found. Yeah, I forget the name of the place, but it's just outside the bayou. There's a ghost town, like a small ghost town, with a lot of boarded up buildings. And a rat-tail orchid. On the left, black bell. I'm assuming both of the drawings are black bell. Black bell, what a woman. If she was younger, and I was in the market for a woman to go killing with, what a pair we could have made. She told me old boy Calloway was a poser and a liar. Big surprise. A heron, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what else it could be. And vanilla flower and evergreen huckleberry. And some kind of ox or cow. Deputy sheriff. Finally, we have achieved a state of true insanity. For the first time in my life, I am a deputized lawman. We went off with some moronic dupe deputy, working for the alcohol-drenched Sheriff Gray, pursuing some moonshiners. Dutch is convinced this will somehow lead to riches beyond compare. Seems the one powerful local family, the Greys, ex-Scots, is warring with another proud English family, the Braithwaites, like some long-running dispute from the border country. Apparently there's gold or women or something at the root of this, and if it's gold, we want it. Either way, we are so deep in the swamp, and so entirely lost ourselves. I hope it will take the Pinkertons in there like a long while to find us. We shall see. In the meantime, a new career path in law seems to await. Seems like amongst our other perils, a gang called the Lemoyne Raiders won't take too kindly to outsiders or anyone who ain't livin' in the distant past. Another fox, I reckon. Kind of a funny face. An alligator snapping turtle and another cow or ox head. Guy sleeping on a bench. Stumbled into this old drunk on the streets of Rhodes. I don't know quite why he made an impression. The world is full of self-pitying drunks. Hell, I hope to grow into one myself. But something about this fella, Jeremiah Compson, blamed everyone else for his plight. Lost his career and his home. Wanted me to go find a few trinkets at his home. Compson's stead, just north of Scarlet Meadows. Maybe I'll head over there sometime. It's getting dark again. Here we have a cat sketch. And a black bear, I'm guessing, maybe a grizzly. Went to the house. Don't feel so bad for him now. Feel like a fool. Bastard was a slave catcher. Okay, I think I'll quickly sleep through the night, if I can. Okay. I just slept through the night. And by the way, I don't know if you're meant to find this horse. It looks, from what I remember, a lot like Hosea's horse, but I'm not sure if it is. But when I came back from Guarma, you come ashore in Van Horn, and there was no one, and just this horse all saddled up. So maybe it's Hosea's, I'm not sure. And for those interested in this shack, if you go in and navigate some, like, you have to go underneath some of the house, but you can find a cat skull mask. Anyway, let's get back to the journal. Yep, this was the next one. Went to see nice Mr. Compson's again. No, Mr. Compson again. Burned his valuable ledger right in front of his eyes. Yeah, it was a ledger of all the slaves he owned, I think. Saw an old church, found it interesting, not sure why. I don't really remember finding anything interesting there, but if it's a journal entry, maybe there is something hidden. I can't remember. Braithwaite Manor. some charming women in my time. Catherine Braithwaite, I keep saying Braithwaite, Braithwaite, the mother hen to that particular bunch of roosters, ain't one of them. A sour old jug of piss and bullshit I ain't never met. Even Hosea's charms were lost upon her. She refused our offer of selling her back her shine, and instead got us to give it away to annoy the saloon owners in town. Hosea put on quite a show until we got interrupted by the bastards we robbed when grabbing the stuff. We just about escaped. On the other hand, I met this poor bastard grey boy, Bo. Oh. And his forbidden love, Miss Penelope. Quite the most alive creature we have met down here. Suddenly, I'm marching as a suffragette. The looks of loathing on the faces of the locals delighted me, while their leader, a Mrs. Calhoun, amused me. I don't know much about good causes, nor the joys of democracy, but I enjoyed my little experience riding alongside them. World is certainly changing fast. Yeah, Penelope on the left. And a very rudimentary snake of some description. I kinda wonder if there's a reason why the pages are this blank sometimes. If it's just a safety thing in case you discover a lot of new animals and plants. I don't know. Nice sketch of a guy fishing at the docks. At a dock. Met an awful fella who will send me money if I send him fish, so he can send others the fish pretending he caught them, so they can pretend they caught them while out fishing with him. At least I think that's it. Either way, the man, Jeremy Gill, was dreadful. Ah, right, that's the guy from the legendary fish. I quite like those missions or activities, but I love fishing in general in this game. It's by far the most relaxing thing I think you can do. Sketch of a horse. We went horse thieving, our greed getting the better of us. Believed a yarn spun us by one of that grey family, the patriarch Tavish, a particularly unpleasant one of what seems a reasonably unpleasant family. Sometimes the sentences are... I know it's supposed to be as Arthur would write it, but still it's difficult to read. Believed a yarn spun us by one of that grey family, the patriarch Tavish, a particularly unpleasant one of what seems a reasonably unpleasant family. He had us believing that the Braithwaite woman owned some highly prized English thoroughbreds or Arab chargers, or whatever they was supposed to be, and imagined we was going to be wonderfully rich. At the end of it, we felt like prize idiots, so I guess at least some prizes were being handed out. Charles and I went looking for Trelawney, who was staying in Rhodes. He'd been accosted by some bounty hunters who was looking for him and a means to getting to us. Whole thing turned nasty, and he'd been treated pretty bad, but we got him out of there. He seemed worried that there might be more following in their wake, so came back to camp with us. Looks like a vulture, and I don't know what the bottom one could be. There always seem to be more bounty hunters, Pinkertons, lawmen. Everywhere we go, there's more and more civilization. Perhaps this is it from now on. We shall see, I guess. The whole place is beginning to give me the creeps. I want to get back in the open country of the West, or what's left of it, but even that ain't the way I remember it. I'd say either a songbird or a seagull. Not sure. And another frog or a toad. And another horse. And a dog. And oleander sage. Not sure who that's supposed to be. I think it's the circus people. Got into a fight with a drunk giant with a tiny head. Yes, that's what happened. Fellow was strangling a barkeep who had turned off his liquor supply. Part of some kind of circus act. The show was run by a woman, Marjorie, I think. She's missing a tiny magician. I suppose we all are. He's run away into the woods. Said if I saw him, I'd send him back to them. And there's the tiny magician. Found the little magician and reunited this odd family. Fella tried to give me the slip a few times, but in the end, seems they love each other even more than they hate each other, or at least it was close. Want me to see their show sometime in Saint Denis, and say they'll reward me then, as they were broke now. Golden currant. It definitely looks like a seagull. And another wild horse. The animal photographer. Met a nice fella taking photos of animals. Albert Mason, I think it was called. Kind and interesting, and entirely lost and unused to real country. Even though he seemed to love it. Trying to take pictures of all our biggest predators before they all got killed. No, before they all got killed off themselves by the modern world. Should have got him to take a picture of Dutch. Oh snap. He got robbed by a coyote, but I got him his bait back. A bighorn ram. If I had to guess, I'd say a bald eagle on the left and some other bird of prey on the right. And lady's slipper orchid. And a nice picture, sketch of a sure what the difference is between a deer and an elk. And some kind of rat, I'd say. Found a massive skeleton. Wonder how big the man was, or if it was a man at all. Yeah, that's on either Mount Shan or Mount Hagen, I'm not sure, but close to the top there's a small cave with a giant skeleton. Probably wolves. Oh yeah, that's for Mr. Mason. Saw Mr. Mason again. This time he was taking pictures of wolves, still doing his hardest to get himself eaten. Yeah, wolves with some meat hanging up a tree as bait. Violet snowdrop and a doe of some kind. Elk or moose. Wolf, probably. I have been recuperating after an interesting encounter with Colm O'Driscoll. Dutch got it into his mind to meet the bastard, to somehow end all this lunacy. Only Colm did not share Dutch's sense of honor amongst thieves. Whole thing was a setup to kidnap me, then lure all of the rest of us into a trap, so we could get arrested and Colm could disappear away, us somehow carrying off his sin, along with our own to the gallows. Seems like Colm is enjoying this modern world even less than we are. More by luck than judgment, I escaped and somehow got back here, more dead than alive, and collapsed into bed for a few feverish days. After much nursing from Miss Grimshaw and Miss Tilly, and much guilt-ridden apologies from Dutch over his stupidity, I survived okay. My shoulder where I was shot ain't come down with gangrene, and I will live, if even uglier than before. Things is getting even more insane with the local population. My sense is neither the Greys nor the Braithwaites have a pot to piss in, but I ain't spent too much time with the landed gentry. Whatever else they is, they don't make one believe in the nobility of aristocracy. Sean, the Irish guy from the gang, shot in the eye, apparently. Sean has been killed. I'm more sad than I can admit. I loved that little loud-mouthed wretch more than I knew. It was like an annoying little brother to me. What fun we had riding together, and now he's dead. His head shot half off in an ambush. What a goddamn mess we are making of things. Still no Confederate gold, but a shitload of trouble. Okay, that was the end of chapter 3, and I think I will call the end of the video here, because this chapter was a lot longer than I thought it would be. The next chapter, chapter 4, is also pretty long, so I can easily make that into a separate video as well, so that's going to be the end for now. Thank you very much for watching and for listening. Have a good night, and I will see you next time.